designing phase, development phase, testing phase. Now we are learning into the final phase, that is called code maintenance. Sometimes people also refer as a defect fixing. So if there is any problem comes in the code, then someone should maintain the code. So a maintenance of the code or the defect fixing. So someone should have the a blueprint of the software in its hand. So it's a kind of highly attentive. Someone is maintaining the code, though then it is not a laborious work like testing or developing, which is a laborious. This person has to write lot of code, test cases or development code. But when it comes to maintenance of the code, then a person should be highly knowledgeable in the sense that he should understand the designing very well. So a person who knows the designing very well, he can only maintain them. So maintenance of the code lands up into the bucket of design, not in the development or testing. So if someone has the program and he is getting report that there is some problem in the program, then he should have the blueprint or the template or the designing of the software. Now, he should be kind of vocal for the local. Vocal for the local in the sense that he should identify the unit of the execution or the scope of the program, context of the program, the local context of the program, where the problem and the way it's a kind of a reiterative that when we write a code, then we should understand the scope of the program. And 90% of the code should be local to the scope one. And like in Python, we have non-local and global. And then extrinsic parameter through the function arguments or attributes of any data structure. So that interference should be understood clearly. When someone is modifying the code, he should know that he is modifying local source. So if there is some problem in the local logic, not in the global logic, global logic in the sense that whatever is the extrinsic parameter to the execution code, if that extrinsic parameter that is getting copied into the local area and based upon that, that is considered as external hint, external signaling. So based upon that, then local, the logic, it modifies itself, it changes itself. So that is the concept. So when someone is modifying the code, he must not touch anything that is global. So that is highly required. Means it is a 1000 time relationship. If I have a piece of code and if I modify something local to the code, and if I go the environment of the code, that is one above, up, it grows in 1000 times. So if I touch the code one layer above in the scoping, scope that is above this scope or environment of this local code, as we grow up, each layer it adds 1000 times complexity. So the person who maintains the code, he must not change anything that is extrinsic to the means it should consider that whatever the hint that is coming from the outside is perfect. But the local code who is implementing the hint that is coming from outside is not proper. Like the example I generally take, like a nervous system or neural network, if it receives a hint from brain that there is problem in the neural network in the hand, then there should not be any suspicion that there is a problem in the signal. So he should readily think about the area where the problem is and then he should fix their one. So code, when we change, when we modify, when we are in the kind of maintenance phase, then we must understand that we should reach the execution unit of the program, the total program, where the actual execution unit is. Either it is a control statement or it is a kind of context manager or it it is a try and accept block, or it is a function class module or a package. So where there is a class can have a problem in local code also. Class itself has an execution unit, and then it has set of functions which are many ways which are unrelated. Means the functions that are inside the class, they cannot touch the namespace. They can touch only through the data structure. They cannot get the name the way they get name as a free variable for the other environment. So scoping is something like that must be cracked in when we maintain the code. So we are reiterating that if we are maintaining the code, then we must understand the localist, means the most local area. Like if I am inside the function and if I see problem is happening inside a try catch block, then my change must be limited to try catch. It should not go above it. And that if we think that we are going above the scope, then better not to change it. Means we can kind of report it to designer or whatsoever. Or because if I'm doing something in a function and if I go above and go to above function, not even a class, because function can contain function, then 1000 times we are more vulnerable to introduce a new bug. So be local when we change the code. So that is the idea. It means this is the kind of a basic designing principle that it comes under that open for extensibility and code close for modulability. Means open close principle is there. So we should kind of if we have a new functionality. New functionality is saying that from the extrinsic area, from the external area, new functionality is required. Then better to have new things rather than so modifying is something that it should not kind of affect anything else. So if that care is taken, then that is the maintenance. So miss that should be taken.